Hey guys, we're doing common factor and least common multiple questions. Greatest common factor, least common multiple today. The greatest common factor of two numbers.
Wait.
Oh, I forgot the joke. Oh no. Today's joke. What do you call an amount that exactly divides a recipe for a sweet confection? A fudge factor. A fudge factor, get it? Sweet confection. The greatest common factor of two numbers is 10. The least common multiple of the same two numbers is 120. What are the two numbers? One thing you can do here is, with a problem like this, is just use the answer choices. Go straight to them. It's a the greatest common factor of the two numbers is 10, so both of the numbers must have 10 divided into them. That immediately says A is out because 6 cannot be divided by 10. B is out because 12 cannot be divided by 10. And the rest of them work. 10, 20, 60, 30, and 40 all can be divided by 10. So then the second half of that is which of these numbers can divide into 120. After eliminating B, A, and B, we're left with C, D, and E. All of these numbers are divisible by, 120 is divisible by all of these numbers, 10 and 20, 20 and 60, and 30 and 40. So we don't have any we can rule out just because they're not multiples. But which one is the least common multiple of these numbers? Looking at 10 and 20, the least common multiple of these guys would just be 20 because both of these numbers would divide into 20. So we can rule that out. The least common multiple here would be 60. And looking at D a second time, actually the GCF here would have been 20 and not 10. So while 10 was a common factor, it was not the greatest common factor. So that one fails both the GCF and the LCM test. And that leaves us with 30 and 40. The greatest common factor is 10. The greatest number that can divide into both 30 and 40. And the least common multiple of these two is 120. So E is the right answer. Now, let me show you guys another way if you're ever doing GCF and LCM with numbers. If you have two numbers like this and you're trying to find the GCF or the LCM, let's start with we'll kind of start from the end and work backwards. You can do factor trees, if you guys remember these from elementary school, but 30 can divide into 3 and 10, which can further divide into 2 and 5. And 40, same, I can go 2 and 20, which divides to 2 and 10, and 2 and 5. Now, if I'm looking for the greatest common factor, I'm going to look for only numbers that these have in common and the least number of each one they have in common. So they don't have any 3's in common, so 3's out. They have a 2 in common. 30's got the fewest number of 2's, so we've got 1, 2 in common, and they both have 1, 5. So 2 times 5 will give me my GCF, which is 10. Now LCM, the least common multiple, you do the opposite. You take the most they have of everything, but don't double count. So we've got 1, 3 over here. We see who has the most 2's. 40 has the most 2's. It's got 3 of them. So we multiply 2 times 2 times 2, or some people will write that as 2 cubed. And then they both have 1, 5, so we write 1, 5. So if we multiplied that out, that would be 120. Just trust me on it. No, 3 times 8 would be 24, and 24 times 5 would be 120. So that's another way to think about GCF and LCM. Today's challenge: what is your favorite part of a Thanksgiving feast? Very difficult one today. Please check the description for the right answer. Right answer is Aunt Carol's corn casserole. Don't know how she makes it or even if that's what it's called, but it's good. Please give us the thumbs up if you like the video and subscribe to our channel, and happy Thanksgiving.